ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಜ್ಜಾದ್ ಪಾಷಾ, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್, ದೇವನಹಳ್ಳಿ. We are in progress with the subject Business Regulations of third semester BBA. Now let us have a discussion on the session 19 of the chapter Indian Sale of Goods Act 1930. Let us continue on the discussion on the topic. The topic for the today's session is rights and duties of a buyer. ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸೇಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಟೂ ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್, ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅ ಬೈಯರ್. ಸೊ existence of seller and buyer is a must to effect a valid sale transaction. And in the previous discussion, we have discussed what is a sale, who is a seller, and who is a buyer, and what actually means the sale of goods as per the act. Now, in case of selling and buying of goods and services, there arises a contractual relationship between both the parties, buyer and seller, and both the parties must have to keep up their promises, must have to fulfill their obligations, responsibilities towards each other, so that both the seller and the buyer will be satisfied as far as the sale transaction is concerned. So in order to protect the interest of both the seller and the buyer, law has prescribed certain rights and duties for both the parties, so that no one is cheats the other party, no one gets cheated by the acts of the other party. So now let us have a discussion on rights of a buyer. What are the rights of a buyer over the seller, over the goods he has purchased, and over the transaction of sale of goods? First important right of a buyer is to have delivery of goods as per the contract. He has every right to take the delivery of goods from the seller as per the terms and agreement, as per the terms and conditions prescribed mentioned in the contract between them. So he must have a right to get the delivery of goods from the seller. Then he has also got a right to reject the goods for the reasons which are violating the interest of the buyer, which are not in accordance with the terms and conditions prescribed in the agreement, in the contract. Like the reasons may be less quantity of goods. For example, if a buyer has ordered for a 500 pieces of some commodity, if the pieces of commodity are less than 500 what he has ordered, then he can reject the entire lot of goods, entire lot of commodities, because of the less quantity. Then excess quantity. For excess quantity also he can reject, because he has to pay more what than what he has ordered. Suppose he has ordered for a 5 pieces of a commodity. If he has received a bundle, if he has received more than 500 pieces, then also he can reject if he does not want to keep the excess commodity, excess products. Or if there is a mismatch of quality and description, then what he has ordered. If there is a mismatch, he has ordered a particular type of quality, he has prescribed some description about the goods as far as the color is concerned, then the design is concerned, then the size is concerned, the shape is concerned. Then if the goods are not in accordance with his description, then also a buyer can disapprove the order and he can reject the goods. Then he can repudiate the contract if the terms of the contract are not fulfilled by the seller. Means he can cancel, he can terminate the contract if the terms of the contract are not fulfilled by the seller. If the agreement prescribes any uh, act to be done by the seller, if that is not done on the part of the seller, then he can terminate or he can cancel the contract with that particular seller. Then to receive, he has right to receive the notice of insurance if the goods are sent through water transportation, through sea route. Like he has the right to receive a copy of the insurance. Like if the goods are transported across the seas through ships, etc., then he has right to receive a copy of marine insurance. That is his right. If he does not receive a copy of insurance, in case any thing happens, then he will have to face the losses. To avoid such losses, keeping a copy of insurance is a safety measure as far as his own interest is concerned. So he has the right to receive the notice of insurance or a copy of the marine insurance from the seller. Then he has the right to have the time to examine the goods. Whatever the goods he has received from the seller, if the goods are subject to be examined, if the goods are subject to be carefully examined, checked and verified, then seller must give him the time to examine the goods as far as the quality is concerned, as far as the quantity is concerned, then as far as the impact of the products, the commodities is concerned, he must have the time to examine the goods. It's not like seller says immediately you approve the delivery of goods, taking the possession of goods and hand over the invoice or the bill. No, that will not be the case. Seller must give him the time to examine the goods, to check the proper of the goods. He must have the time to examine the goods sent by the seller. Then, to sue the seller for damages for non-delivery of goods means buyer has the right to claim for the damages from the seller for the non-delivery of goods. If the goods are to be supposed to be delivered on a particular day, on a particular time, then if that is not has been done, then he can claim for the damages. He can claim for the damages from the seller. So he has the right to sue the seller for damages for non-delivery of goods as per the terms and conditions as per his prescriptions. Then he has also got right to sue the seller for recovery of price already paid by him if seller does not deliver the goods. Here, if the seller fails to deliver the goods according to his terms and conditions, then he has got every right to get back whatever amount he has paid already. To sue the seller for recovery of price already paid if the seller does not deliver the goods in time at the particular place as specified by the buyer. Then, to sue the seller for specific performance of the contract. If the buyer has specified anything to be performed, anything to be done at the time of delivery of goods or while sending goods to him, if seller fails to fulfill that particular specification, then also buyer has got a right to sue for it from the seller. So in such a case, seller must be in must seller must be uh, must have to fulfill that particular performance. For example, if a buyer has place an order for the purchase of a car, and he has ordered to decorate the car in a particular manner, in a particular fashion, with the particular decorative items and all. But at the time of delivery of goods, if the seller does not follow such specifications, then buyer can sue for the damages. Buyer can sue the seller for such a kind of non-performance of the contract by the seller. Then to sue the seller for breach of warranty. If the warranty is violated on the part of the seller, then the buyer has got right to sue for the same from the seller. Then to sue for the interest if seller breaches the contract. In case if the contract is broken due to the failure of the seller, due to the non-performance of the duties by the seller, then buyer can sue for the interest. Like in the above one of the points, I have mentioned that he has got right to recover the amount he has already paid. Along with that, he can also claim for the interest. If the seller has taken more time, if the seller has not paid the amount in time, then the buyer can also claim for the interest from the seller if the contract is breached, if the contract is broken by the seller. So, my dear students, these were the rights of the buyer. Along with the rights, buyer has also got certain duties. So rights and duties go hand by hand. Here, the buyer has got the right, and at the same time, he has also he is also liable for certain duties that he cannot be he cannot escape from the performance of duties. Now let us discuss what are the duties of the buyer. First one, to accept the delivery of goods and pay for them. If the seller has sent the goods according to the contract terms and conditions, then he must have to accept the delivery of goods and pay for them. If there are no reasons to reject the goods, then he cannot reject the goods without any reason. He has to accept the delivery of goods and must pay for them as per the terms and conditions, as per the terms of the contract. Then, to apply for the delivery of goods, he must also inform the seller that, like, when the goods are to be delivered, where the goods are to be delivered, how the goods are to be delivered. So he has to apply for getting the delivery of goods from the seller. So he has the duty, it is his duty to apply for the delivery of goods. Then it is his also duty to demand delivery at a reasonable hour. So if a particular customer, particular buyer is very specific about the time for taking the delivery of goods, then he can specify it. Like we follow Rahu Kala, all these things. So if a buyer does not want to take the delivery of goods at a Rahu Kala at a particular day or at a particular time, then he can specify the reasonable to take the delivery of goods. He can demand, he has to demand uh, delivery at a reasonable hour. Reasonable hour means he cannot act midnight, 3 o'clock. He want the delivery of goods. That is not the reasonable time for fulfilling the business transaction. Whatever the time he has spent, he can specify the time for the delivery of goods. But that time, that hour must be reasonable one. So he can demand for taking the delivery of goods at a reasonable working hours. Reasonable working hours. During strike, during disturbed period and all, then he cannot, buyer cannot claim for the delivery of goods. Then to accept delivery of goods in installments and pay for it, if so agreed. If the agreement states that, if the agreement says that the goods can be taken in installments, and then he has to receive the goods, he has to accept the goods in installments. Otherwise, he will be violating the terms of the contract. So it is his duty to accept the delivery of goods in installment and pay for it if he has agreed for it. Then to inform the seller why goods have been rejected by him. In case the buyer has rejected the goods, then it is his duty to inform the seller the reason for which he has rejected the goods, why he has not taken the delivery of goods. He has to give the explanation, he has to give the reasons. Then it is his also duty to take or accept the delivery of goods. In one of the above points, it has been mentioned that he has to accept the delivery of goods and pay for it if everything is according to the terms of the contract. Without any reason, he cannot refuse to take the delivery of goods. So it is his duty, if everything is okay, if everything is as per the agreement, then he must accept the delivery of goods. Then to pay for damages for non-acceptance of goods. If he is not accepting the goods, if he is not taking the delivery of goods in spite of the seller has satisfied uh, all his duties, responsibilities, then he has to pay for the damages to the seller for non-acceptance of goods, because seller will be in a loss incurring position if the buyer rejects the goods, if the buyer does not accept the delivery of goods, then seller has to incur the losses. For to protect the interest of seller, the law has put in the duties of the buyer to pay for the damages if buyer is not accepting the goods which have been sent by the seller as per the terms and contract. So friends, Atmi Vidyarthigale, these are all about the rights and duties of the seller, rights and duties of uh, the buyer. I hope all of you must have understood. We shall meet on the next session, session number 20.